Hey, all, Brad here with another quick video. I've got a Sinistar board set on the bench today. This is a post-repair video. The board was sent in by Hunter, and he was having issues with the game not booting. It would come up, you'd see some carpet rug pattern, RAM testing, and then it would kind of go in a boot loop, and he just couldn't get past that. So we chatted a little bit. He decided he wanted to send all the boards in minus the power supply. I think he's running a switcher, and have me go through everything, make sure everything's solid, bring everything up to the latest level. So that's what I did, and I'll go over with the bench cam everything I did. We'll come back to a little gameplay, go through the diagnostics, and then hopefully wrap this up pretty quick. So let me switch over to the bench cam. So here's the soundboard. This actually had some issues and wasn't working for me here. So it's got a new bridge rectifier, all new electrolytics, all the blue caps. We had an electrolytic here for the coupling for the AC coupling for the audio coming out of the digital analog converter. That I replaced that with the tantalum, 10 microfarad, 35 volts. We've got a new tantalum here for decoupling, for coupling the audio in. Decoupling cap here and one on the CPU. And it turns out the CPU on this board was bad, 6808. It's kind of intermittent. So I put a 6802 in here, and then I did cut the jumper so we disable the 6808 external RAM. The 6802 CPU has internal, so we just told it to use that instead of messing around with this, just in case there's any issues with that IC. Pulled EEPROM clean, straightened the legs. The label was kind of coming off on it, so I re-adhered that with some adhesive. And then on this board too, there's two resistors down here, a 2.2 and originally a 220 ohm, that kind of make up the ratio for the gain for the audio amplifier, which was 100. So I swapped that 220 out with a 130, so we reduced the gain to about 65. And again, on Sinistar, I'm hopeful that with the speech and that, in this game, most people know that it sounds a bit distorted and garbled and things like that. So I think this will help somewhat with some of that. You can definitely, there's still plenty of volume here, for loudness, if you will. So no issues there. This also got all new Molex headers, and then I pulled the fuses and recrimp the legs so you have a lot more friction. Clean the ends with some Scotch-Brite. Back here on the ROM board, I've got new filter caps for the power, all new Molex headers. Pulled all the socketed ICs, so we've got 11 2732 EEPROMs, and then the two custom special chips back here, the blitters. Clean, straighten all the legs on those. Got a new ribbon cable, 3M with the 3M header on it. The old cable was pretty rough. I/O board, same thing, new ribbon. I make them up in-house. New Nichicon filter cap, and then we've got a new 15-pin header for all the inputs coming in from the control panel in that here. And then the MPU, all new Molex headers, new filter caps. Got a new tantalum here that's used for the soft start. I did replace the ZR2 Zener diode, originally 3.9 volts, now it's 4.7, and that helps if you're running a switcher to prevent corruption in the CMOS. Basically, anytime as the power is dropping on the board when you shut the game off, as soon as it reaches the value of this Zener, which used to be 3.9, which is now 4.7, it will force the CPU into reset and basically shuts the bus down so you don't get that corruption happening. So I do that on almost all the games now, all the MPUs. I was missing a label on Video Decoder 4, put a reproduction one on that. Got a new CR2450 battery and battery holder in here. The one that was in the game was really rough. It had a lot of corrosion on it. I fill the holes in when I do them, and I really clean it up, pretty well when I do it. This board had been converted to 41256 single voltage from the original 4116, which requires three different voltages. So when I got the board all cleaned up and booting, we had a bad 74153 multiplexer for the addressing, so I got that swapped out, and then there was randomly placed 7 bad RAM in here, DRAM. So I swapped those out. I pulled them all, cleaned them, and I grouped all the 7 here at the end. They're NECs. I didn't have the exact same. I like to try to match RAM if I can, but these are some off-brand that were on the board. They seem fine, but I put some brand new NECs on here. So that's straight. Again, here's all the old RAM that was bad, all the old parts I returned, all the Molex headers and caps and battery holders in there, ribbon cables. There's the old CPU from the soundboard. So everything's going back. I'm going to switch over now to the capture for the gameplay. And I do have a remote control here, so I'm going to turn it off real quick. We'll power cycle it just so we can go through a full boot sequence here. So there's the carpet rug pattern where it's testing the RAM. All systems go. And right into a track mode. Again, that shows us that the CMOS is working, the battery, it's persisting all the settings in the game. So let me grab. I've showed this before, but I've got a little PlayStation controller that I've mapped through an Arduino to the board, and this one is actually simulating the 49-way joystick. So I'll go ahead and coin it up here. I hunger. I hunger. And we will hit start. So I'm going to drop into diagnostics. So to me, those explosions and things in there sound a little less distorted, a little cleaner than they did before. And again, that's reducing the gain on that audio amplifier. No RAM errors, no ROM errors. This tests the CMOS, no errors detected. Loop through a couple sounds here. And this is the switch input. So there's like left coin, start, and then what you're seeing on the screen is the 49-way. I can do the fire and the Cinnabomb. Left, right. So all the switches are good. I did test all the inputs on the on that I/O board and the ROM board. And then here we get the grid lines for setting your convergence on the monitor. We get red, green, blue, solid, and then color bars. And then we'll get the bookkeeping data. And the next screen here is your game settings, your adjustments where you can set free play or how many coins. You can set a track message, and you can also go through and reset some stuff. I would also recommend if anybody with the Sinistar, if you change the batteries or recovered the board, when you first boot, it loads those settings in, but they're not the correct ones on initial load. So your high score table will look corrupt. It's a bit messy. So what I would do is come into here, go ahead and do a factory restore, clear bookkeeping, and high score table reset, and then hit the advance. And then you'll see those three initiated. And then you can just either power off and power on, or you can hit advance and come back. So you can see here now your high score table and everything looks normal. Complete. So anyway, we're going to wrap up that. I'm going to get these boards have already run for probably 48 hours on the bench. Been busy with my real job this week. And I'm going to get everything in pink, brand new pink static, anti-static bags, boxed up, and coming back to the customer this week. So thanks for watching.